Guys, welcome back to the channel. Nick here from Gimme Market Reviews, and again, I'm with a very special guest,
Hello.
James Robinson.
How are you?
Welcome back to the channel, sir.
Thanks for having me.
So I'm up here in the north of England, Woolly Park.
God's country.
There we go, yeah. God's country, you said it first. And we're on a par 3. We're just going to talk a little bit about spec.
Yeah?
Iron spec. I actually have a relatively old bag of spanners, guys, and I've done some reviews before about how, you know, if it isn't broken, don't try and fix it per se.
Still a good set of clubs as well. Like, I remember these being fantastic clubs.
Danny Willett won the Masters with those bad boys, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I have to say, they've been into battle with me many a time, and I've really enjoyed using them.
Yeah.
I've obviously, like yourself, I've had the opportunity to hit
all
the latest product, but and I have got my eyes on some new stuff, I have to say. But and I'll probably try and get into something new. I think probably the back end of this year. But
I think that's a really interesting concept for guys to follow your journey with as well, because obviously you know your numbers with these clubs. If I said how far does your 8-iron go, what does it spin?
Exactly. Well, 158, and we'd be in the region of about sort of 6.5 with that. So
And then if you wanted to look at, and this is where we talk about spec checks, and we're going to have a discussion on fitting as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of different types of club fitting available now. Obviously, there's the one-to-one specialist fitters you can go to. You're going to end up spending a lot of money. You're probably going to walk out with a new set of clubs. There's potential for like an online fitting as well if you don't have the money or the confidence for that. And I think today we're just going to hit some shots into the par 3 and discuss your specs as well, Nick, because they're pure as well, which I'm... those stickers never come off, do they? You make sure they don't
exactly.
come off.
So, but I've been in the same spec now for many years, you know, and I think even moving forward, I'll probably stay in the same shaft spec. However, I am going to be open to any new product out there as well, and I think everybody else should be, because you just never know what you're going to find when you go to a fitting, and that's where when you get into the hands of the fitter, or if you're working with somebody who's got great knowledge in the market, you should really just open your eyes to what might come out of that process, you know.
Definitely. I mean, obviously you have been a fitter for a long time as well, so you kind of know the questions that people would ask. And say if Nick went to a fitting and decided he wanted a little bit more spin and to rein the distance back, you could do that with the head profile.
Correct.
And then if you wanted a little bit less spin and more distance, you go hollow bodied again, head profile, bit of a switch, and do that. So I think there's always something that a lot of people do want, and don't be fooled to think that if somebody wants a new set of irons, it's because they have to hit it further. Because I can guarantee if you got fitted for another set of irons, if someone offered you a 170-yard 8-iron, you're not going to take it.
No, you just don't need it. But also, I think to a certain extent with where the lofts are and everything now, I think they've started to plateau a little bit. They haven't become much stronger, you know. So you could dive into the second-hand market and find something that performs just like the new version. So go get fitted for the new version per se, but then depending on where your budget is, you know, you could always maybe go back and look at something from a previous generation potentially as well. There is open to that. But obviously the latest R&D guys, the guys are always pushing the boundaries here, you know. But let's see how James hits my 8-iron in my spec. If he hits it better than me, then it's game over, really.
To be fair, we do hit a lot of different golf clubs. What shaft is this before
it's
we go?
It's a KBS Tour V120X.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
So it's probably right up your street from what I've seen.
I'd go S. I'd go 120S. It'd be quite stout, this. But I just always think here, try and use this is your dream shot. This. You see that lone tree? Just move it off that.
Okay.
To that
He's being very kind with me today. He hasn't picked any dog legs yet.
Not yet. The next one is.
Not yet. Oh, well done, sir.
It's a great strike, but it's left. That's just clattered into that tree.
Very nice.
Come on, you can do better.
That's not easy to do, to pick up somebody's sticks and hit them like that, though, I have to say.
I'm going to club up for the next one. I'm going to go 7. Because one of the beautiful things for me as well, if you're thinking about changing your clubs, you're thinking about getting fitted, think about not only what your standard shot's going to go, but also think about how versatile is that club going to be. And do I want versatility? Do I want forgiveness? Or do I want some kind of magical world where I get both?
And you'll see there by the one you've dragged out the bag, I play a combo set. I want a little bit of help at the top end of the bag there, so I do move into a different construction there, a little bit more generous in terms of the head size and everything else. And I'm all about making this game as easy as I possibly can.
Absolutely, I couldn't recommend that enough to people. To be fair.
I know you've spoken about that as well. So, right, okay, here we go. Caddy's giving me the dynamics where I need to be, so just got to produce it. Oh, too much draw on that one.
It's a similar one. See now, so we've both gone kind of full-blooded at that 8.
Yeah.
And I think here, if we start talking about the potential for getting fitted for clubs, even retrofitted for clubs, which I've done in the past because I love a set of iron heads. So I've gone and got some LA golf shafts in them, funnily enough, in my Tacomos. But like, you don't always have to go for a fitting for brand new clubs. You could always look at the Gimme marketplace, get a set of clubs, as long as they're the right shaft potentially. Then you can always change lie angle. You can potentially change loft a little bit. You can even change shaft length if you potentially. Would you put plugs in them potentially if you were?
I think you can do.
I've seen it done.
You can do new grips. I mean, you can really, once you've got them, and if you've sought some professional advice, guys, you ultimately you can make changes to the product nowadays. It can be manipulated. So
some easier than others. Don't go and buy an old set of pings and try and change
unless
those
you've got a big
angles.
rubber hammer that you can put it back into shape with. But yeah, absolutely. But I think if you've sought a little bit of advice on it, and you can be guided through the marketplace, because it is crowded, James, right?
Very, very crowded.
You see a lot of product, you hit a lot of product. I mean, there's stuff coming out all the time.
We're in a different world now that we use. So even 5 years ago, there was no Kirkland golf clubs, there was no Tacomos, there was no Callies, there was no Haywoods. All these brands have kind of come out of nowhere and do a fantastic job of making premium component clubs. But the D2C ideology isn't ideal because you can't get fitted, but then you can order them in specs. So the issue with that, as we know, is there's no no industry standard. So from there, you're going to really struggle to think, oh, well, I have a TaylorMade at 2 degrees flat, so I'll order my Tacoma at 2 degrees flat. Well, you can't do that because standard, they might be totally different.
It's tricky.
Right, I'm going to have a hole in through with this 7 iron. See if I can keep this down a little bit flighted.
Oh, very nice.
That's better.
Absolutely down that tree you told me about there.
It should kick left. There we go. But you see, that's where for me, I look at clubs like this, and a lot of people would be put off with having the slightly bigger apex in the mid to long irons. But you don't need to be, because you can still flight that down, they still do the job. There you go.
Not bad, that?
I really enjoy that. And if we talk, like, I'm a big fan of turf interaction. And I think if you can get the right turf interaction with an iron, that's half the battle, because it shows you compressing that ball as you want to. You're controlling the dynamic loft. You're doing everything that we should be doing. Over to you.
Let me try and see if I can get some of that turf interaction for you then, sir.
When it comes to a fitting, Nick, and potentially when we're talking about buying second-hand clubs, what would you say to the guys on set makeup? So potentially 4 iron, 5 iron, hybrid, 7 wood. Do you have any kind of tips for that for the guys?
Well, I think it all depends where you struggle in terms of your trajectory to a certain extent. If you're a slower swing speed player, shorter hitter, which can be identified by probably how far you're hitting your 7 iron in reality, and then from there, really, loft and clubs that hit the ball higher for you, like 7 woods, like hybrids, are going to be your friend ultimately. That's exactly what they're designed to sort of do. So I think it depends where you play your golf, what sort of speed you bring to the table. And then from there, really, the fitter can really work with you in terms of getting that configuration at the top, because it can get confusing with the loft situation nowadays, because you could get 3 or 4 clubs in your bag which could almost have the same loft. And I did a video on 7 wood hybrid 4 iron, all had 21 degrees on them, but they all went completely different distances on different trajectories, as you've shown yourself there, James. So it's I think it's working in collaboration with somebody to make sure that what you put in the bag makes sense from a loft perspective. But certainly longer shafts, something that helps you generate more launch and more spin, is going to be your friend if you struggle with club head speed. Definitely. I've got, as you can see, I've got long irons in the bag.
Look at these. That's a lot of irons.
They're sort of relics, those ones, really. But again, they've done me really well.
If they've done the job as well.
They suit me because I don't want to overdraw the ball, and I find sometimes the hybrids and stuff overdraw it for me. So, right, let me try and follow you there, sir, because you hit a fantastic shot.
A lot better than the first one.
It was brilliant.
That's lovely turf interaction.
That was a different line to the first one, admittedly.
Well, you see it's landed on the green and kicked left. Very good. Should we get down there and see where they are?
Let's have a little look where they are, guys. Absolutely.
Right. James, pretty good shots with the second one.
Your caddying was absolutely spot on there, by the way. You gave me that line on that tree, and a little bit long. Yours, as you said, came off the bank absolutely beautifully there, but that was the right shot to play.
I think so,
play the easy one. It was back into the wind a little bit there as well.
And
so
it's really interesting for me, because when we talk about specs of clubs and getting fitted, and I feel that's been a really kind of good debate almost on the pros of club fitting, but I think you don't have to worry about having something that's too strong lofted, or because you can still manufacture shots, you can still play shots. So
absolutely,
make sure something's forgiving enough for you, which the 8-iron wasn't for me, and then go with it and work from there.
And I'm sure you can also appreciate as well that, you know, standing there and trying to hit something as hard as you possibly can all the time.
Yeah.
Bryson-esque, let's say.
It's a tough way of doing it.
It's a tough way of doing it. You took a little bit off it, played a really smooth one there, and you played a beautiful shot, and ultimately you finished closest to the pin, right? So I think for a lot of that's 1-0 for a lot of guys as well. I think that says a lot there. When you go to your fittings, just play like you would do on the golf course, not trying to rip the cover off it. Just give the fitter some good views of what you would normally do on the golf course, and then he can go about his business. If you're standing there trying to thrash it 100 miles an hour, you could end up with the wrong fit as well, ultimately. But that's not the fault of the fitter. That's kind of what you're showing them on the day, right?
Yeah, very much.
So, you know, I think there's a lot to be said there, guys. That was fantastic. Well done. Great golf shot. Really enjoyed that as usual.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, James.
Cheers.
We'll see you very soon for another review on Gimme Market.